Hey there, and welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm George, and this is Bit by Bit. Up today, we've got some new Atari Jaguar games, believe it or not. An old classic game gets delisted across the web, and Audacity is coming out with a brand new game just around the corner. All that and just a little bit more coming up right now. First out of the gate from TimeExtension.com, that's right, the Atari Jaguar is set to get a new 3D multi-directional shoot 'em up and a new Virtua Cop-style shooter in the next year. So the homebrew publisher Songbird Productions has announced it will be releasing some new 3D shoot 'em up and some stuff. Now, this all comes out of these developers who created this thing for a game jam called Jag Jam 2024. I know I'm going to get tongue twisted through this whole article because I'm never going to be able to say that properly. But these games came out of a thing that happened in 2024, so last year. And then Songbird has stepped in to take these games to market, which is really cool. Now, the first game up, which is that one, it's the Shapeshooter 2000. There it is. As players take control of a ship that is trapped inside a small cordon, being pursued by a bunch of 3D shapes, and there's a little video that you can watch on YouTube, of course, linked in the article. Then there's also another game, it was down here, Operation Follow Through is also coming in 2026 for the Jaguar. Now, interestingly enough, these two games took home all 7 awards between them at the Jag Jam 2024. So, obviously, very well liked and respected games at that session. I'm just excited that Atari Jaguar is getting new games in 2026. That's just crazy. But, you know, retro gaming is all the rage right now. That's why you guys watch Bit by Bit. All right, here's one from retrohandheld.gg. 8-Bit Mods has got a new piece of hardware coming out for the Sega Dreamcast called the VMU Pro. Now, they already have one of these kind of things called the Mem Card Pro, but this is their whole new system. Look at all these details here. Endless storage for Dreamcast, compatible with original VM games, 16-bit color IPS TFT display, up to 6 hours of battery play time, up to 2 terabyte microcard SD supported, USB-C charging, so on and so forth. Just a really long list. The device has a 1.5-inch backlit screen. Like we said, 240 by 240 in the resolution. Looks really cool. Comes in 6 different colors. I love my Sega Dreamcast. It was one of my favorite systems that unfortunately didn't last very long. I still fire it up every now and then and play Shenmue on it. I love that game. Of course, the 2K games started kind of on the Sega Dreamcast. That's where they really got popular, and now they're everything, right, in the sports world. But if you really want to pick one of these things up, you can pre-order it from 8-Bit Mods. There's a link to their website. And, of course, I will have a link to this article in the description of the video down below. But I'm just curious, how many of you out there are Sega Dreamcast fans and would be interested in purchasing this upgrade for your system? Okay, here's some interesting news from RPGsite.net. System Shock 2 is going to be delisted from all platforms. Well, actually, it's already been delisted. I read this article a couple of days ago, but it's been delisted as of October 10th. So just a couple of days ago if you're watching this video on release day. And the reason why is because they are going to be including it in the System Shock 2 25th anniversary remaster from Night Dive Studios. So Night Dive has the licensing on this, and they're going to be pulling the originals from all the different places you could buy it. But you will have it included in the new remaster anniversary edition. So that is due, when's that coming out? Does it even say down here? I don't think it even says. Is it already out? I don't know. But anyway, you can reach out to Night Dive Studios through Atari.com if you like. But, you know, their remasters that they do are tremendous. I really enjoy what Night Dive Studio has been doing over the last couple of years. This new remaster is going to be available on the PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. No Nintendo Switch 2. And for PC, it's going to be on Steam, GOG, and Epic Games Store. Now, interestingly enough, if you've already bought it, you have it. They're not taking it away from you, they said. But if you haven't bought it already, too late. You have to get it as part of the anniversary remaster. I don't know, though. What do you guys think about pulling old games offline so that they can be included in remaster editions? Is that okay with you, or is that something you think they should just allow both to exist? Okay, here's just a quick little bit from our friends over at RetroDodo.com. They did a kind of a contest, a voting contest, where they asked 15,000 of their followers to choose the best retro handheld of all time. I don't want to spoil the results, so I'm not going to go through this article. I will have a link to it down in the description below, but I'll just show you. Here's a little bit of the bracket. Don't read and see which one. Don't pause. And anyway, you can see the bracket that they did, kind of like a March Madness style of bracket, and they had differences. Look, here's the Game Boy versus the PS Vita. Game Boy beat that one. You got Game Gear versus Nintendo DS. Anyway, read the article so that you can find out who the champion was. And then down in the comments of this video, I'd like to know what your favorite retro handheld of all time is, and how does it compare on this list. And finally, from our friends over at TimeExtension.com, once again, the guys over at Audacity are back at it. They've got a new game called Poseidon's Gate coming out for the Atari 2600. So this one is, here we go. Here's the description. Poseidon's Gate is an undersea adventure starting at the ocean surface and descending to the sea floor more than 100 fathoms down while battling dangerous sea creatures. You control a deep-sea diver featuring innovative graphics, the likes of which have seldom graced an Atari 2600 game screen. And let me tell you guys, this is coming from David Crane, legendary creator of Pitfall. If anybody knows Atari 2600 graphics, it's David Crane, ladies and gentlemen. I've had the opportunity to talk to these guys back at the Long Island Retro Expo a few months ago, and they are just killing it. I love what Audacity Games is doing. They're putting out original 2600 games in full physical cartridge form, just like we used to be able to get when we were kids. Yeah, I know some people say that they're a little bit pricey, but truthfully, to get a new Atari 2600 game is awesome as it is, but to get it in a cool box with its cartridge and the manual and everything else, look, there's even a collector's edition going to be available for this. This is all going to come out on October 22nd. This is a link down to, I don't know if that goes to their website, but I think it does. Anyway, I will have a link down to this article and all the other ones in today's episode down below. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for another episode of Bit by Bit. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and share and let everybody know that you're really enjoying Bit by Bit, or if you're not, don't tell anybody. I'll talk to you guys another time. Bye-bye. That's going to do it for the news making headlines in the gaming world right now. I am George, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep on bringing you the news bit by bit.